Hey there guys, today we're going to be looking at some of the new weapons and mutations in the 2.3 Whack-A-Mole update in Dead Cells. First off, we have the ironically named Toothpick, which you can get from the ground shakers in the Cavern. 60 cell cost. Strike harder by charging your attack, but it will be broken for 10 seconds. Next we've got the Tombstone, which you can get from the swarm zombies, either in the graveyard or from a malaise spawn if you're on higher BC difficulties. $80 cell cost. Kill an enemy with the last hit to bury it under a tombstone and doom nearby enemies. That's a new one. Next we've got the Oven Axe, which drops from Oven Knights. Surprise, surprise, which will spawn in various biomes on 2 BC or higher. Very similar look to the Great Axe from Dark Souls. 50 cell cost. Repeat the last hit in the combo to inflict critical damage. Bit more straightforward than the last two. Now onto the mutations. We've got the Barbed tips, which you can get from Toxic Miasma in the Corrupted Prison. Everybody loves these guys. Another 80 cell cost. Inflicts added DPS per every arrow stuck in enemies. Pretty useful. Next up we've got the slashers, which you can encounter most easily in the Ramparts. With No Mercy, a colorless mutation. We don't see very many of those added. $100 cell cost. Executes mobs under 15% health. Effect is halved for bosses. And lastly, we've got the Corpulent zombies in the Forgotten Sepulcher with Point Blank. Another 10% drop chance, so no need for the Hunter's Grenade here either. 80 cell cost. Close ranged attacks inflict extra damage. So the Toothpick's critical is pretty powerful. And even while the weapon is broken, it can still do some semi-decent damage anyway to lower rank enemies. But these three slower survival scaling weapons, as usual, you're going to want to pair them with something like the Ice Bow, Frost Blast, Root Grenade. I like having the Cocoon there for some crowd control during the wind-up times. No Mercy, very useful for finishing off enemies. Prevents you from catching that one last attack while you're winding up yours. The Tombstone special effect is pretty hard to pull off just because it's such a slow weapon, and by the third combo you've probably killed everything around you. But it does have its moments. And it does have a fairly good radius on it as well. And can hit enemies above and below you, even when there's no opening in the floors or if they're just spawning from the malaise. Last weapon here, the Oven Axe, feels a lot like the Mamatic Scythe Claws in its wind-up time, damage, range. Of course, it allows you to have another weapon in that slot, and is complemented very well by ice, rooting, stunning, etc. And naturally, Point Blank and Barbed tips together are a pretty good combination. And from what I can tell, these scale with one another, networking, work with the Acrobata pack, all that good stuff. So really opening up the tactic builds now. They were a bit overshadowed by Brutality for a while, so I'm hoping this is going to even it out a bit.